Now you'll see the love I spoke of in silence. The one I've whispered about in soft lines, in words tucked carefully between sentences. She's not just someone who appeared in my life. She is the one who arrived when everything inside me was too tired to search, too quiet to speak, and too broken to try again. But somehow, she heard the silence. She stepped into my life without noise, without demand, without a single need to be seen, except by me. She is the calm in my storm, the softness in my hardest days. I've kept her away from the screens, from the eyes of the world, not because I was hiding her, but because I was protecting something rare, something too beautiful to be explained in photos or described in short posts. I didn't want to place our love on a shelf like a decoration. I wanted it to live in the warmth of real moments, away from likes and comments. And now, for the first time, you will see her. You will see the one I always speak of, but never name. The girl who sits beside me not to complete the frame, but to complete the piece in my soul. When I first met her, I was not ready. Not for love, not for trust, not even for kindness. Life had worn me down. I had dreams left halfway, promises I didn't keep, not to others, but to myself. My own shadow felt heavy, but she came like sunlight slipping through old curtains, quiet, patient, and sure. We didn't start with big words or loud intentions. We started with simple texts. A few words here, a kind reply there. And somehow her voice became the pause I waited for in the middle of my chaos. Her messages made me smile again, and I didn't even notice I was healing. At first, I kept everything to myself. I didn't tell anyone. Not because she didn't matter, but because I was scared. Scared of breaking something before it even began. Scared that if I let the world in too early, I might ruin the one thing that felt safe. But even in my silence, she stayed. She never asked for attention. She never asked for a name, a label, or a post. She just gave love, gently, quietly, fully, the kind of love that doesn't need to shout to be heard. She remembered things I forgot I even said. She noticed when I grew quiet, when I paused too long, when my smile felt just a little tired. And she never tried to fix me. She didn't give long speeches about healing. She just stayed, sat with me in silence, let me be messy, let me be lost. And in doing that, she gave me the space to be found again. Sometimes I would think about posting her photo, about sharing a moment, letting people see the woman behind my smile. But fear always came first. What if they judged her? What if they misunderstood? What if the loud world made her quiet soul feel unwelcome? And so I waited. I chose to love her in private, to grow something sacred without rushing. And she never complained. She never once made me feel like I owed her a stage. She just kept showing up. With soft hands. With a kind heart. With love that didn't ask for proof. But now, the time has come. Now, I no longer feel the need to protect our love by hiding it. Now I want the world to see what real love looks like when it's quiet, when it's not for display but for depth. You've heard me speak of love in my words. You've heard me describe someone who feels like home. You've heard me say that there's someone who walks with me even when I fall. That someone is her. She is the reason I softened, the reason I smile more, the reason I believe again, the reason I've healed in places I didn't know were broken. She is not just the girl I love. She is the one who reminded me that love is not found in big gestures, but in daily presence. In the way she asks how I am and truly listens. In the way she sits beside me, not to be seen, but to be close. In the way she loves my flaws like they're verses in a song she already knows by heart. When I told her I wanted to finally share her with the world, she didn't rush. She didn't ask what to wear. She just smiled and said, "Are you really ready?" That one question stayed with me. Was I ready? Was I ready to be seen in this way, not just me, but us? Was I ready to show my soft side, my love, my heart that I've kept quiet for so long? And I knew the answer, yes. That night, in the stillness of my room, we sat together and watched my old videos, the ones where I was laughing, lost, speaking to a screen, speaking to the world. She watched every single one without skipping. She didn't laugh just because it was funny. She laughed because she knew the pain behind some of those moments. She held my hand during the quiet parts. She never said I looked awkward or odd. She just said, "You were always real." And then, she said something that changed everything. She said, "I didn't need to be in the videos, I just needed to be in your life." That is the kind of woman she is. No spotlight needed, no big entrance, just presence, just love. The next morning we turned on the camera. No script, no makeup, no plan, just us. She looked nervous. I saw her fingers playing with her sleeves, but she smiled at me. Not a fake smile, a smile that said, "Whatever happens, I'm here." And in that moment, I realized this wasn't content. This wasn't for views. This was a memory, a moment I would remember forever. She is not just my girlfriend. She is my shelter, my mirror, my muse. She walked with me through the hardest seasons without ever asking for something in return. She's been my strength when I couldn't stand, my calm when I was too loud inside. She is everything I didn't know I needed. And now, everything I don't want to go without. So when you see her sitting beside me, know this. It's not a performance. It's not a reveal. It's simply truth. It's love, the kind that doesn't have to try. It's just there, quiet, strong, steady. There's no background music, no perfect lighting. Just us, just the moment, just the love I've always written about, now sitting beside me, smiling, real. I've waited to show this part of my life because it matters too much to rush. And now as she holds my hand off screen, I know I made the right choice. You'll see her as I see her, calm, kind, unshaken. She's the love I spoke of in silence, now visible, now present. She's not trying to be perfect, and neither am I. But together, we are something true, something whole, something worth sharing, not for the world's approval, but because love like this deserves to breathe beyond the quiet. So here she is, the girl behind the words, the piece behind the poetry, the one who stayed, the one who made me stay, the one who loved me without asking me to perform, the one who healed me without needing to be seen. Now you will see her, and I hope when you do, you'll understand. Understand the kind of love that doesn't need to shout, the kind of love that speaks even when it's silent, the kind that changes everything gently. And if you've ever wondered if that kind of love exists, yes, it does. She is proof. She's here. She's here, and she's not here to perform. She's not here to be a character or a caption. She's not part of a story for entertainment. She is the story, the truth, the quiet rhythm behind everything I've written and everything I've felt. She is not a guest in my life. She is the home. And this, what you're about to see, is not a scene. It's a moment we've shared 1,000 times in private. A moment where nothing needs to be said, but everything is understood. There were so many nights I sat alone, thinking about whether love like this was still possible, whether someone could see all of me and still choose to stay. And then she arrived. Not with loud promises or big plans, just small things, like remembering what I said weeks ago, like asking how I'm sleeping, like reminding me that I am more than what I think I've failed at, like staying without needing a reason. She's never tried to fix me. And maybe that's what fixed me. She never gave me instructions on how to love her. She just received love in whatever form I could give. She let the awkward words be enough. Let the missed calls be forgiven. Let the late replies still be welcome. She didn't ask for more, but because of her grace, I wanted to give more. She has this way of making the ordinary feel golden. The way she laughs at the silliest things, not because it's funny to everyone, but because it came from me. The way she touches my hand without words, and it tells me I'm not alone. The way she looks at me when I'm lost in thought, and doesn't interrupt, just watches, quietly staying near. I've written love letters before. I've shared emotions through lines and stanzas. But nothing I've written has come close to what it feels like when she just sits beside me in silence. She's not here for claps. She's not here for comments. She's here for the kind of love that grows in quiet places, The kind of connection that doesn't need to be explained. The kind of bond that holds you steady without saying a single word. We sat that day, filming something that didn't feel like filming. No fancy background, no scripts, just real. She leaned a little closer when she saw I was nervous. And I knew. She wasn't worried about how the world would see her. She was thinking of how to make sure I felt okay. That's the kind of person she is, always thinking of others, always choosing kindness even when no one's watching. And now you'll see her. Not a version, not an idea, not a perfect picture, but her, just her, as she is. Calm, honest, smiling with her eyes. She might look down when she's shy, she might fidget with her hands, she might not say much, but every little thing she does means something.